'Tis the season to go bowling. Ken Trahan, sportsNOLAtv. The bowl season is already well underway with all kinds of games you've never heard of, and some maybe you have, being played in all kinds of weather with all kinds of scores all over the country. And now we get into the meat of the bowl schedule with the meaningful games and ones, of course, that we are most interested in. Starting with the LSU Tigers in the Advocare V100 Texas Bowl against the Texas Tech Red Raiders. That is in Houston, of course, NRG Stadium. Tigers are 8-3. The Red Raiders are 7-5. And we know that LSU has rushed for a lot of yards, and we know that Texas Tech has trouble stopping the run. So I guess it's pretty much that simple when you look at this particular matchup, Brian. This is a matchup of teams that clearly has a distinction between them. LSU wants to run it. Tech wants to throw it all over the yard. LSU, decent against the pass. Tech, not so good against the run.
Yeah, it should be a lot of points and a lot of yards given up. And you've got two distinct different approaches to how they move the football. With Cliff Kingsbury, likes to spread them out, quick-paced offense, and they'll get the ball up and down the field. And I'll tell you what, I love their defense. Here you go, right there. You know, Mahomes, he's got over 4,000 yards passing. He has thrown some picks, all right, but they scored a rapid clip. I mean, they put up a lot of points in a hurry, 46.6 points per game, almost 600 yards a game, and they almost 400 yards passing. So it's going to make LSU defend them properly, and you know it's going to be a lot of points. I'm actually looking forward to this game.
Well, you know, what I worry about LSU is the quarterback situation. I mean, you know, they got a great running back, and they got a pretty good defensive line, and the secondary good. So you just worry about what the quarterback going to give you. But you know what Texas Tech quarterback going to give you. He going to give you some yards. So that's the whole key right there to the ball game.
Ricky, I like the defensive coordinator for Tech. He realizes that the defense is overmatched. I mean, they're like, they yield yards on the ground by the bushel. Leonard Fournette, watch this, 259 yards to get to 2,000-yard mark. I predict he'll get there.
Oh,
I think he's going to set a school
huge
record.
Number.
That's a huge number. But look, Kenny, 4 guys have rushed for over 200 yards against this defense this year, all right? And if anybody can do it, Leonard can. And you know what? I would think that Les Miles wants to get him to that figure, to be perfectly honest.
I would think that's true, Ricky.
Yeah.
And here's the other part of that. He's healed up. He's fresh now after being off for the better part of 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, he deserves a great young man. I mean, and he's everything that you're looking for out of a running back. I mean, he got power, speed, and, you know, he do the right thing up there, it seems like to me.
Yeah, he's a real deal. And I think it's a legitimate question and possibility that Brian raises, and I think that this could happen, but that's a sizable number.
It is a big
number. And everything has to fit in. The
Yeah.
game has to stay competitive.
Yeah.
Gets out of hand, you never know.
No.
But I think it's reachable, and we look forward to seeing if Les Miles can get his Tigers ready to play and win a bowl game to move themselves forward, and then, of course, to see what happens with the draft-eligible juniors, because you've had quite a few declare, and LSU has lost, 23 over the last 3 years that have done so. They'll have a lot of players back next year, in particular if they can retain some of these junior eligibles.
Kenny, do you think this is Cam Cameron's swan song?
Don't know. I mean, I don't know. Remains to be seen.
Yeah.
Well, Les Miles is a loyal guy, so I
Yeah.
don't know the answer.
Well, Brian, what about Coach Payton and Drew Brees? How you think they'll be for next year?
Oh, I don't know if we have enough time in the show. I tell you what, I think Breeze is coming back. I'm not so sure about Sean. We'll see.
All right, yeah, this is college football,
Yeah.
and we're not talking about that right now, but we are going to talk about another bowl game of great interest, the All-State Sugar Bowl, and a really good matchup here, the Oklahoma State Cowboys and the Ole Miss Rebels. Oklahoma State here for the first time since 1946. Ole Miss here for the first time since 1970. And Ricky, that's what makes this a great matchup. 2 really good teams that can score, and 2 teams that are hungry, and 2 teams that are loving the fact that they're playing in New Orleans in the All-State Sugar Bowl on New Year's. That's what you want in this particular matchup, and that's what you've got.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what I like most of all, J.J. McCluskey's son playing. And J.J. played in the same game 25 years ago, now his son back playing. So that shows you. Then Archer Manning School. So it just got a lot of history in it.
Well, you know, Ole Miss, they haven't been here in a while. I think Archie Manning was the last time that they were here when 69 season, 70 game. And And yeah, it should be a fun game. High-powered offenses. I would look for a lot of big plays and a lot of points.
And if you haven't read the piece by Will Pennigy on the Ole Miss situation being in the Sugar Bowl, go back and read it at sportsNOLA.com. You'll really enjoy it. Outstanding timepiece that is timeless, and I think you would thoroughly enjoy it. This should be a great matchup, and I think both teams will play and play to win. No Kemdiche, obviously. That's going to hurt Ole Miss. The Rebels, though, Kelly's an outstanding quarterback. When he gets it going, he's got skill around him. Guys that can make plays, Brian, as we saw when Ole Miss played LSU, among other games.
I'll tell you what, that's what I'm saying. This is a perfect game for New Orleans and New Year's Day. For this club to be in here, it represents the SEC. It's a high-powered team, so it should be a lot of fun. I would love to be in the stands.
Yeah, I think, you know, these two teams travel well, so that's the good thing about it. I mean, they're going to bring a lot of people in, and neither city ain't a whole lot, you know, far from New Orleans, so I think that, you know, you'll get a good crowd.
Well, the game's a sellout, and that happened pretty quickly.
Yes.
So it tells you about where this game is. Because in this day and age of the bowl system, Brian, the playoffs are great because you get a true champion, but they've kind of diminished the importance of other bowl games in the process.
Yeah, Kenny, as you over the holidays, you watch some of these games that are being played
Ooh,
on
a lot of
television.
empty seats, huh?
Well, and yeah, unless the cameras are focused in the middle of the field, you know, there's a lot of empty seats in the stadiums.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, I'm taking Alabama for to win it all.
Okay.
Well, you're just speeding right ahead.
Yeah, you
aren't
just-
you? Boy.
I mean, I'm
Skip
speaking-
over what's going on here. Right?
See you later, folks.
Well, I mean, you know that the bowl, a lot of teams that, you know, when they go to the bowls, a lot of people not going to follow them.
Right.
So, I mean, there's going to be some empty seats. And, you know, you have that, but you get teams like we got here in Louisiana, these teams are going to follow, you know, they're going to follow LSU, you know, and they're going to follow Ole Miss. So they're going to get a chance to bring a lot of crowd. But a lot of people up north, they don't follow, you know, when they come down south.
Well, you mentioned Jalen McCleskey. Oklahoma State has a lot of skill on its team. They have the ability to strike and strike quickly, and they have all season long. The Cowboys, big play offense, and they've been doing this for a few years now under Coach Gundy. This is a good offensive football team, Brian.
Yeah, again, if you put these two teams on, you're looking at a game in the 30s, 40s, I would think, by the end of when it's all said and done. Who do you like? I like Ole Miss in this game.
Well, I take Oklahoma State in this one.
Whoa! All right, okay.
He's prejudiced. He's going with his friend's son. What can I tell
All
you?
right, I'm going with JJ's son. I mean, I played with JJ.
There's always a reason.
Yeah.
I'd feel a lot better
Yeah.
about Ole Miss's chances if Kemdiche was playing.
Yes, that's true.
What a stupid decision he made.
Woo.
And hurt his team, hurt himself, but hurt his team in the process, and that's very unfortunate. So that said, it's a jump ball game in my mind. I'll give Ole Miss a very slight edge, but Oklahoma State's very good.
Yeah,
I think it's a good game.
And I'll tell you what, it's going to hurt that young man's chances of the draft. He's going to have to go sell himself big time. Okay, we'll see what happens to him.
All right.
It's unfortunate.
So who do you like in the semifinals? Ricky's already telling you
Yeah.
who's going to win the whole thing. Who do you like in the semifinals?
You know what? I like Oklahoma over Clemson, and I like Alabama over Michigan State. And the reason, and I'll give you a quick reason why. Oklahoma, I think, you know, they got beat by Clemson 40-6 last year in
Right.
a bowl game.
That's
All right,
right.
40-6. They've got Bob Stoops has got a much better defense, a much better pass defense. He's going to need it. And then the other game, Michigan State. Hey, they've had a magical season, but it's going to end with Alabama and Derrick Henry and a good defense.
All right, so we know you like Alabama to win the game over Michigan State. Who do you like with Clemson, Oklahoma?
I like Oklahoma.
Okay.
I like Oklahoma, and I like Alabama-Oklahoma matchup. Oklahoma got a running team, and Alabama got a great defense. I don't think they'll be able to run on Alabama defense, so I like Alabama in the game.
Okay, good. Well, I like Alabama and Clemson. I think Clemson proved beyond the shadow of a doubt who they are. They killed Oklahoma last year. This is not too far down the road. I like Alabama to win it all over Clemson. Back to talk Pelicans in a moment on Sports NOLA TV.